As Russia pounds Ukrainian cities to rubble, water and sewer systems have broken down in some places, like in Mariupol.
We got the information that there are swamps actually in the streets, and the water, sewage water and drinking water are getting mixed. So this is a huge hazard. It's hazard for many infections, including cholera.
The UK Defense Ministry says Russian forces are struggling to deliver clean water, and Mariupol is at risk of a major cholera outbreak. It's not clear just how big the threat is, though. Scientists disagree about where the strains of cholera that can cause a major outbreak come from, and whether they're present in Ukraine currently. Cholera is caused by bacteria that scientists call Vibrio cholerae.
Their day jobs are degrading chitin, so the stuff that crab shells are made out of. That's their job in the ocean. That's what they like to do.
The bacteria live on tiny creatures called copepods in oceans, lakes, and ponds around the world.
And it's drinking the water with lots of copepods, carrying lots and lots of vibrios that starts the cholera outbreak.
Colwell and colleagues use satellite data to look for conditions where copepods can thrive. They found them recently in the waters off Ukraine's coast. That's a problem in coastal Mariupol, where water and sewage treatment systems are broken.
Mariupol has now, over the last couple of weeks, shown a moderate medium risk. And if there's a rainfall, it's going to segue into high risk for cholera.
Cholera has hit Ukraine before. There was an outbreak in Mariupol in 2011 where 33 people became sick and 10 died. In 2017, health officials in Mykolaiv found the bacteria in water bodies, though no one became ill. But experts disagree on how serious the risk is now.
I'm hesitant to state that, that risk is too high.
Doman and colleagues studied cholera outbreaks around the world since the 1970s. They looked at the genes of the bacteria that caused each outbreak.
All of that data supports that it is a single strain that is sort of moving and spreading globally.
He says each major outbreak traces back to one family of cholera bacteria from South Asia, reintroduced over and over in waves of outbreaks around the world. In Haiti, for example, Nepalese peacekeepers inadvertently brought cholera bacteria in 2010. That set off a 9-year outbreak that killed nearly 10,000 people. Imported bacteria caused the 2011 outbreak in Mariupol too, Doman says.
And this all points to the fact that, there's just not this long-term persistent reservoir of these pandemic-causing strains in these areas.
He says that means those strains probably are not still hanging around in Mariupol. And unless someone brings them in again, it's unlikely that Ukraine would see a disastrous outbreak like the one in Yemen, where from 2017 to 2021, more than 2.5 million people came down with cholera and 4,000 died. But Colwell's group predicted that outbreak, and she disagrees.
With the vibrios that are there in a very, very warm temperature, the risk of an outbreak is very high. And you don't need to bring it in from Bangladesh or from Syria or anywhere else.
Besides cholera, the broken water and sewer infrastructure means the risk of dysentery, E. coli, salmonella, and other diseases is high too. And it would not be the first war zone to see a cholera outbreak, wherever it comes from.
Unfortunately, in settings like this where you have conflict, and breakdown of infrastructure, it's precisely in these sort of instances where our old foe, cholera, can take off